So, Suzanne, tell me about the one of the paralysis, the testimony of this boy you said was paralyzed from his head all the way down. Tell me about that testimony. What happened?
Well, Clayton Jacobs, 4 years ago, I prayed for Clayton. He was paralyzed head to toe. He had had water on the brain. He had gone into a coma. The doctor said he would never, ever come out of a coma. He would probably die. His parents were Christians. The mum says, I'll take him home. I'll feed him through the tube because I believe in a God of miracles. He has been paralyzed for 2 years. They heard about me and they said, would I come out and pray for him? So I was visiting South Africa, and our pastor took me out from Port Elizabeth to Humansdorp, where Clayton lived. And I prayed for Clayton, and I was really, really hurt by his condition. I couldn't think of anything worse than to be in that condition. The only thing he could move in his whole body was his eyeballs.
Wow.
And I prayed for him and nothing happened. I went back to Port Elizabeth crying. I said, Lord God, don't ever let me leave a child in that condition because of my lack of faith. Please, Lord, give me more faith. I then came back to England. A couple of weeks later, I get an email from the same pastor. And he said to me, remember that boy, Clayton Jacobs? I said, oh, well, of course I did. In the email, he says, exactly 7 days after I prayed for him, that young boy sat up 100% healed and could speak. Wow. He's back at school, 2 years behind on all his grades, but the only thing you can see, he has to wear a pair of glasses. Oh, otherwise, he's perfect. Well, last April, I had the joy of going to see Clayton Jacobs myself. And Alan Stansbury took me out, and I met his parents. I spoke to him. I filmed it all. And I watched him blow a trumpet and run around the field. Wow. Just to show us that God's done such a wonderful healing in his life, and he wants to become a pastor.
So with the healing of the horse, did that propel you to start the ranch that you have now, the riding school?
I've been a riding teacher for 45 years. Okay. But when I became a Christian, I wanted to serve the Lord. And I thought, you know, you have to be a nun, you know, and do something that you really wouldn't fit in. But God creates us perfectly to do the job he wants us to do. And so he led me to open up holiday farms. And the first was in Port Elizabeth, which we ran for 12 years in South Africa. And the second one was the Standlake Equestrian Centre, which we built up by faith for young people to come to, where we can share the truth about Jesus. Through this, the ministry has happened because a riding school is our income, where we live from. Okay. And the ranch is run to raise funds for the ministry, which is at the present looking after 995 orphans in Zambia and Pakistan. And also we have 182 Bible schools spread over 18 countries. And we train them in a course, a Bible course on evangelism, and then we send them out on bicycles if we can provide them, and they go and spread the gospel in the remote villages and plant churches there. And this is proved so successful, because by training up national evangelists that know the culture, know the language, can handle the living conditions, they are getting so much better results than if I had gone myself. And so we are putting through about 20,000 evangelists every year, and every one of them is planting between 1 and 3 churches in their first year, and then they end up pastoring them. And there's a few of the pastors that have actually opened up 6 to 7 churches, and they will visit them each day of the week, a different village. And these are little rustic villages with rustic built churches with grass roofs and mud walls, but the people really love Jesus.